You're joining us this evening to help celebrate the 10th anniversary of the Keller Family Venture Grant Program at Colorado College. Tonight we will hear from 7 students who received venture grants and undertook remarkable projects. And I'm especially pleased that we're also joined by members of the Keller family tonight. They have been dedicated supporters of Colorado College, and we would not be gathering this evening if it were not for their generosity. With us tonight are Dennis and Connie Keller, joined by their 3 sons, Jeff Keller, class of 1991, David Keller, class of 1995, and Temp Keller. It's especially meaningful to have them tonight for this 10th anniversary of the Keller Venture Grants. Their generosity has benefited more than 1,000 Colorado College students who are able to pursue their passions through a venture grant.
The Andes is the longest mountain range in the world, emerging from the southern tip of Latin America and continuing all the way up through Venezuela. I was drawn to this region partly because of its vast remoteness and its beauty, but also because, as an environmental science major, I was intrigued as to how this land is managed. National parks originated in the United States, but since then have been exported around the world, oftentimes as a form of cultural imperialism. I sought to understand if these parks parallel the American standard, and if not, how they differ. Furthermore, in studying the function and purposes of these parks, I hope to gain some sort of understanding of the concepts of wilderness in the region. Wilderness is also an American-born concept, and much of my understanding of it is derived from William Cronin's famous treatise, The Trouble with Wilderness, in which he states, "There is nothing natural about the concept of wilderness. It is entirely a creation of the culture that holds it dear, a product of the very history it seeks to deny." Obviously, the histories and cultures of the countries along the Andes are distinct from that of the United States, and I wanted to see if these differences impact land management practices and concepts of wilderness. I focused my research on the Southern Cone, which consists of Chile and Argentina. My travels took me all the way down the coast of Chile, up over the Andes, and along the eastern side to the northernmost region of Argentina. In total, I traversed over 7,000 kilometers and visited 10 national parks. The Southern Cone's understanding of wilderness does not encapsulate the desert as the American concept does, and this discrepancy has altered the function and purpose of parks in the Southern Cone. The desert there does not instill wonder or bring awe to them as it does to us. I would like to thank the Keller family for providing me this opportunity to pursue my passion and in the process learn more about myself than I ever could have in a classroom. Thank you.
At the beginning of my freshman year, I bicycled up Pikes Peak, not upside down. When I got to the top, since my brakes weren't working very well, I got a ride down from Alan. And he suggested that I try bicycle touring because I seemed to have the tenacity for it. So 10 months later, I began a solo, unsupported 3,500-mile bicycle trip from my dorm in Colorado Springs to my driveway in Tallahassee, Florida, via Virginia, to study the bicycle community, imagined communities, and rural America. The first 25 miles of my trip I did with 2 of my friends who have done over 20,000 miles of bicycle touring. But once they left me, I began my acquaintance with the vastness of America. We kind of have this conception that America is mostly cities, but in actuality it's mostly forests and fields, and once in a while you get a little patch of cows, and in between the patches of cows you get a farmhouse, and between the farmhouses sometimes you'll get a small town. And so in this expansiveness, you get to know other people very well when you meet them. Whenever you meet another cyclist, you stop, you go to the side of the road, you talk to them for 5 minutes, 40 minutes, about everything that's coming down the road, places you can stay, things you can eat, things you should look out for. And when I began the trip, I started in Colorado. Most people start in either Virginia or in Oregon, and so most people are pretty secure in what they're doing at that point, whereas I was just this novice that had like no idea what she was doing. But it was wonderful to experience the process of starting it as a novice and slowly becoming a professional. So eventually I made it to Florida. I was exhausted and jubilant. This whole trip was a very slow process of me finding a deeper home within America, a home within the cycling community, a home on Rosenthal, a home within myself, and then to actually get to my physical, real home was an incredible spiritual experience. So I just wanted to thank the Keller family and the President's Fund and my advisor Esteban Gomez and lots of other wonderful, generous adults along the way. Thank you.
Celebrating the 10th anniversary of the Keller Venture Grants, and as I mentioned, we have many members of the family with us tonight. And they've asked me to make a special announcement, and I'd like to invite them to join me on stage for this announcement, if you all would quickly. This group will be the first to hear some absolutely wonderful news, and I'm very pleased to announce that the Keller family, led by our CC graduates, Jeff and David, have made a $4 million commitment to endow and expand the Keller Venture Grant Program in perpetuity.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks to Jill and Ray and all the committee members and faculty that make this happen, make this possibility, and thanks to you students who take such a great advantage of it. I thought the question on one word, there's lots of words, but you chose a lot of the right words. And so on behalf of our family, I would, again, like to thank everybody who comes together to make this program what it is for CC. We're all very inspired always. I mean, I look so forward to doing this every year as to what you all accomplish. And for us to be able to celebrate 10 years of this forum is a wonderful milestone. So, when our family was first, this is going to be brief. I have 2 sheets of paper with there. They both say the same thing. One's blue, one's black. Blue is working. When our family was first approached by CC with regard to our involvement in the Venture Grant Program, we saw the immediate connection with family values that have been instilled in us over a long period of time. This is a program that requires students to embrace a passion of theirs and to work that passion into a plan. The plan then needs to be sold, and in order to first ensure that it is viable and that it can be approved by the committee. It then needs to be funded, and while we're very, very pleased to do our part, the bulk of that responsibility falls on you to channel your entrepreneurial spirit and take that plan to people and show them why this is something that warrants their support. And then, of course, there's the doing, and that's clearly the best part. And that experience, as we've seen tonight, is the most powerful aspect, we think, of what the Venture Grant Program provides. As you share these experiences with all of us, it is abundantly clear, and you guys said it tonight, I loved it, that this program has real impact. So, looking forward, it's very exciting now to know that the CC Venture Grant Program will continue to have this enormously positive impact on the students that participate and on the college as it continues to develop and innovate as a leader in liberal arts education. So thank you all for what you put into this program and for sharing it with us this evening. Our family is very proud to be associated with the CC Venture Grant Program, and thank you all for making it such a huge success.
Thank you all for joining us. Thanks our students for your inspiring presentations. Thank you again to the Keller family, and it's a happy day at Colorado College. Venture grants will now be a permanent part of CC. Thank you.